Hi, I'm JD Conroy. I'm the host of American Classic Tour TV. If you love to travel, you are in the right place. Make sure you hit the red subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications. Okay, on to our 2-minute tour. Sitka is located on Alaska's west coast on what is known as the Alexander Archipelago, a 300-mile strip of islands off of mainland Alaska. These islands are actually the tops of submerged coastal mountains that rise steeply from the Pacific Ocean. Deep channels and fjords separate the islands and cut them off from the mainland. These fjords create dramatic, unforgettable scenery. There are over 1,100 islands in the Alexander Archipelago. The small town of Sitka sits on Baranof and Chichagof Islands. And if I were to describe Sitka in one word, I would say it is wild. This small town with a population of just over 8,000 people is surrounded by rainforest, which is home to coastal brown bears and bald eagles. Abundant marine wildlife like humpback whales, sea lions, and sea otters. And it is a world-class fishing hotspot home to halibut, lingcod, and king salmon. Douglas fir, Sitka spruce, white cedar, and hemlock dominate the mountainsides. Sitka sits near Mount Edgecombe, a 3,200-foot dormant stratovolcano, the only dormant volcano in southeastern Alaska. This untamed wilderness makes Sitka a perfect destination for those who love the great outdoors, hikers, fishermen, and campers. Inside this history lies the tale of the fascinating and little-known figure in American history, Bishop Innocent. Now, Bishop Innocent was a Russian Orthodox missionary priest. He came to Alaska in 1823 and tirelessly devoted himself to learning the languages and the dialects of the indigenous peoples. He wrote many of the earliest scholarly works about the native peoples of Alaska, including dictionaries for their languages, for which he devised writing systems. Also, he wrote religious works in and translated parts of the Bible into several of the indigenous languages. He later returned to Russia, where he would become an archbishop, and in 1977, the Russian Orthodox Church officially made Bishop Innocent a saint, calling him, quote, the apostle to America. Okay, so I know that story of Bishop Innocent might seem like a little bit of an aside, but I find these stories in American history so fascinating. I mean, talk about a clashing of civilizations. You're talking about a Russian missionary priest coming over and learning multiple indigenous languages. It's just like, when I imagine, how did these people get along and how did they communicate? It's just, I wish I could go back in time and see it. I think these are probably some of the most fascinating and formational moments in American history. And also, I think it's interesting because to think of Russian colonists in America, it's not something we typically think about, but we even have, some Russian roots to our American heritage. Reminders of this period of Russian colonization are scattered throughout Sitka today. The most notable of which is probably the Cathedral of St. Michael, which was built in 1848 and kind of has this neat Russian style of architecture. You can visit this cathedral today. So just to wrap up Sitka's very fascinating history, it remained a part of Russia until 1867. In 1867, the Russian government came under financial duress after its defeat in the Crimean War. Trying to raise cash, they sold Alaska to America for, hold on a second, $7.2 million. That's a mere 2 cents per acre. Folks, I would say that was a big win for America. I mean, talk about a bargain. Today, Sitka's economy is based around tourism and commercial fishing. With its unique history and beautiful wilderness, Sitka is a small town that every American should see. Well, thanks for joining us on this edition of 2-Minute Tour. If you liked the episode, please leave us a like